Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Carolina Classrooms. I'm Dawn Samples. We have with us in the studio some of the finest teachers from around our state. These ladies are the 5 finalists for the coveted title of 2018 South Carolina Teacher of the Year. We taped this program prior to the announcement of the winner, which took place at the Teacher of the Year celebration on May 3rd in Columbia. So I will say good luck to all of you. And at the end of tonight's program, we'll reveal the winner and show you the exciting announcement. Also later in the show, we will look at some short clips of these teachers in action. So first, let's meet them. I'm going to introduce them to you in the order alphabetically according to the district they represent. First, we have Dr. Elizabeth Hardy, who teaches 12th grade English and advanced placement at North Augusta High School in the Aiken County School District. Welcome, Elizabeth. Next, we have Erin Fox, who is an English teacher at Gaffney High School in the Cherokee County School District. Welcome, Erin.
Thank you.
Mary Woodward is a music teacher joining us from North Vista Elementary School in Florence School District 1. Welcome. And next we have Marsha Womble, who is a visual arts teacher at Gray Court Owings Elementary School, and that is in Lawrence County School District 55. So welcome, Marsha.
Thank you.
And rounding out our finalist is Pam Flynn, who is a social studies teacher at Broome High School in Spartanburg School District 3. So welcome, Pam.
Thank you.
So congratulations to all of you, and thank you for joining us and taking the time to be here. So being an educator myself, I know that it is a huge honor to be nominated as Teacher of the Year in your school, but especially to make it to the finalist for the state is a really big deal. So congratulations to each of you.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about how you felt. First of all, how did you feel just to be nominated or to be named Teacher of the Year in your district, but then to make it to the finalist? What's your experience been so far?
I don't know about everyone else, but my first feeling was, why me? I teach with so many amazing people, and so I can look around and point to so many folks who make an amazing difference on a daily basis. And then one of the things that I think I have enjoyed the most has been coming out of my shell and becoming more of a teacher leader. That has been interesting in part of all of this. But being named to the top 5, that particular day was just surreal. Absolutely, it was almost a dream. So it was amazing.
And I see the rest of you nodding your heads.
Definitely.
Do you all feel the same?
It was so meaningful to win first for your school, because you had nominations from colleagues and from students and administrators. That meant a lot, because you could see in your own community your work being recognized. But then to win the district and have everyone cheer for you and the community get behind you so much, it's just been so overwhelming and so just awesome. That's the only word I can describe for it, is everyone has been so kind and thoughtful, and that has just been wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I think for me personally, the most rewarding experience from all of this has been the reaction from my students. Oh my goodness, they seem to walk a little bit taller, and they have so much pride in the school and the community now. I'm thankful that I can give that back to them, because they're so deserving.
That's awesome.
And I think, kind of piggybacking on that too, for me has been the response from former students and parents and teachers that I've worked with in the past who've reached out to me, and just their responses, their reactions to that. The Friday that mine got announced, I was the last one to be announced. I think I cried the whole weekend.
Just overwhelmed.
It has been surreal. It's like you're in a dream, and you're almost like the star of that dream. And I have to agree with Beth. It is very humbling when I realize how wonderful every teacher in South Carolina is. To be among the top 5 is an honor, and it's very humbling. And the day it was announced, I know when Molly walked into my class, it was like, wow, you know, just tears of joy.
Oh, really? Seriously?
And the school board was there, the administration was there, and I had students in my classroom, and the students are just so excited, and they're a part of it. They want to see the video. They love watching themselves on camera. So it has been a great experience, and one I hope to share with other teachers.
Right. I know, Beth, you were saying it was a huge surprise for you too when our state superintendent, when Molly Spearman came in and surprised you guys. What were some of the feelings that you had? I know that it's a big secret, so I know you must have felt very shocked.
Well, I had given up hope. Like, I will go ahead and admit that from the get-go. I had had 2 text messages asking me, you know, how things were going, and that 2 had already been announced, and I was heartbroken. And I, you know, was so unexpected. And when the door came open and those cameras were all on me, I was so overwhelmed because I had really given up hope. And it was so thrilling for it to actually come true, because it is a dream come true in your career. It is a dream.
Yeah. It's very exciting, and I know your students were very proud, as well as your colleagues and your administrators. But I love what you said about your students feeling that they were walking a little taller, standing a little taller.
It has been, I cannot. We're even having our own little viewing party when it's released. You know, with the 3rd grade class that was videotaped, and they're so excited. When is it going to be? And they're counting down the dates. They come by every single morning and ask, when? And I can remember the day that Molly Spearman walked in. The first thing she did, I'm like, and I'm pointing at myself. She's like, I could see her just doing that. And then, but I was doing a brain break with my kindergarten class. We have 45 minutes of kindergarten music, which is a considerable amount of time for that age. And so we do a brain break at the beginning to get them warmed up, take the ants out. We were doing the whip and nay-nay. Molly Spearman walks into my classroom, you know. So, it's just been wonderful for my students. All 730, the day that Bluebell brought the ice cream to our school. And you stand up at the front of the auditorium, the multi-purpose room, and you see, I teach all of those kids. Wow, it's unbelievable.
That's awesome. That's great. Certainly life memories for you, but also for your students.
Yes.
Right. When Molly walked into the room, I can remember looking at her and really saying, really? Are you serious? I mean, because it was hard to believe and take in. And when she walks in, she's just full of smiles, and she gives you this big hug, and you know this is absolutely a dream.
Yes.
Right. And mine was a little different. I was not at school that day, and my principal called and said, I just want to make sure where you are. I was in Charleston, and he said, because Molly Spearman is here. And I was like, no. And I started to cry. And so after it was all over, as we were driving home from Charleston, my husband looked at me and said, you have got to go into school tomorrow and apologize to your principal, because you cannot do that to a man. You cannot. But it was just one of those where you just are so overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed when you get named, you know, at your school and on the district level, but just this is just, and Molly is so amazing. I mean, she really is. So it is a celebration that just continues, and it's been wonderful.
Well, I mean, you should be treated like the superstars that you are, because we have such a culture in our country of celebrating so many other types of celebrities, but sometimes we don't celebrate all of the people who have gotten them to where they are. And so I think it's wonderful that you all have that feeling. I think that we should have that feeling in it as educators more often. So I'm so excited for you all that you've made these life memories like that. Something we're going to do now, we're going to take a quick look at each of these teachers' work in their classrooms. So the South Carolina Department of Education has shared with us some short profiles from each of the finalists that were produced for the Teacher of the Year celebration. So first we'll visit with Dr. Elizabeth Hardy at North Augusta High School. Let's take a look.
Originally, I really didn't think I wanted to be a teacher. It was not something I was interested in. I loved English. I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian. And when I got into college and realized that I couldn't take the sciences and become the veterinarian that I wanted to be, I went with my second love. And it was amazing how everybody said, you're doing what we always thought you would do, which was to become a teacher, and it came naturally. It's in the minutia, is it not?
It is.
Mm-hmm. So paying attention to those small details. We touch the lives of every profession. And not only that, we have the ability to be the one consistency for every child in America. And that we shouldn't take lightly. And we should advocate for our profession and present ourselves as professionals because we are a calling. We are the neonatologists, we are the oncologists, we are the neurosurgeons of the educational world, and we deserve to have that same sort of respect. If I could teach anyone anything, it would be that empathy is key. But it doesn't mean that I don't have requirements. It doesn't mean that I don't expect much from them. It does mean that I know them, I know what they can do, and they know that I know them. And if we don't have relationships, students don't have buy-in. And so once I know who they are and where they come from, then I can incorporate them into my classroom because we're a we. It's not a them and me. And we do this learning together. I don't know what else I would do because this is home. This is what I'm called to do.
So if you want to talk to us a little bit about what are some of the things that you feel like maybe stood out for you as an educator in your classroom or in some of your practices that you think maybe brought you to where you are?
When I first started teaching, I was really focused on eradicating ignorance. I felt like that was my job. And so that was where I focused. And I started teaching in a very needy district. It had about 90% poverty rate, so 90% of our children were on free and reduced lunch. And one of the things that I began to notice there that was added to when I got my advanced degrees and studied the work of Nell Noddings was the need for care in the classroom, for knowing who my children are and what they bring to the classroom. So one of the things that I really try to do is get to know who my students are and celebrate them, taking 5 minutes of fame and saying, those of you who have done well on the track team, or those of you who are in the band and you guys have gotten a recent award, or someone who's, been waiting for a younger brother or sister to be born, or a cousin, and taking that time to celebrate them so that they know that I know who they are, but also incorporating their likes, their desires in the classroom, or knowing when something major happens in their lives and having to say, we cannot do a poem on this subject today because I know what's going on here.
Right.
And so revamping and knowing. And I think taking that time to get to know them and then incorporate their voices and their desires in my classroom and in what we cover. I mean, we still do have to study the dead white guys. We still do have to do some of the things that aren't fun.
Right.
But putting some of them in what we do, I think, has been one of the biggest ways that I try so hard and try to be more cognizant of who they are and the fact that what I do is because of who they are. And without that connection, I don't have any buy-in from them. And that's important.
It makes it meaningful and relevant for them.
Absolutely.
Right. And there's so much research that supports that building that relationship piece.
Right.
So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So next, we are going to take a look and visit Aaron Fox's classroom at Gaffney High School.
I was originally a theater major, and I loved theater, and it gave me the opportunity to participate in stagecraft. And it also opened the doors to a lot of opportunities with dance. During my undergraduate studies, I was incredibly bored with what I was doing, and I had one class, my Women in Literature class, and it gave me the creative outlet that I needed to really be who I felt like I was. And it gave me great literature to read, and it gave me the opportunity to write, and I decided that I wanted to provide children and students with that opportunity as well, because it gave me a focus and I wanted to give them that opportunity also. And because of the background in theater and because of the background in dance and in set design, I love to incorporate that in my classroom. I like for the kids to dance in the classroom and to really energize their bodies and energize their brains. And I love for them to put on costume and try to really become those characters so that they can understand them on the highest level.
She cried and cried. I rushed out and found her mother's maid, and we locked the door and got her into a cold bath. She wouldn't let go of the letter.
I would like to bring a lot more health-conscious activities to South Carolina in order to combat obesity among our student population and also student apathy among high school as well as middle school and elementary school age children. My students inspire me as a teacher. They make me push myself to do more and to be more energetic so that they will develop a love for literature and that they will develop a love for learning. I want them to love it as much as I do. I want to keep things fresh and new, and I don't want them to be bored in the classroom. I want them to have a really, really awesome time when they're in here, and I want them to love the literature as much as I love the literature. So they inspire me to work harder and be better and do more.
So Erin, would you like to talk to us a little bit about what are some things that you feel like have been instrumental in bringing you to where you are at this point in your career?
I think I'm known around Gaffney to be one of the loudest and most energetic people in the entire school, maybe in the entire school district, because I'm just a ball of energy. And I try to bring that into the classroom because I feel like if I am energetic enough, then that will energize the students as well. And that will light a fire for them so that they will want to forget all that student apathy and really become the scholars and the athletes and the artists that they truly can be. I like to teach with such a love that they want to love it too. And I think that that was something, you know, piggybacking on what she said, you know, really connecting with those kids is a huge thing. When I first started teaching, I loved the literature. I loved it. And I had to find a way to love the students because I was still holding them at arm's length. And then when I became a mother, you know, I really realized, wow, these kids, they just want you to love them. They just want you to care about them. And then when I transitioned later and became a cross-country coach, it gave me a new sense of understanding for all my student athletes. And I try to bring all of that energy, all of that love, all of that joy into the classroom so that even if they don't love literature, at least they'll love the time that they spend in the classroom, and it will captivate them and give them something that they can carry on into the future, whether it's the actual literature that they take with them, or if it's a character education, or if it's just knowledge of who they are as a person and how they can grow and how they can affect the world beyond them. So I think that's what really is an important part of my teaching.
I think it's really interesting and important when you're talking. I can hear you saying that your perspectives have changed from teaching content to really teaching human beings,
Absolutely.
learners, and that's been a big shift, maybe.
Huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. So next, we are going to go on and see Mary Woodward at North Vista Elementary School.
I became a teacher because I had a teacher that believed in me, a teacher that made me believe that anything was possible. I had a very difficult childhood, and I had my oldest son when I was 17, and she would not let me give up. And this teacher she was, I don't know, she just was like a saving grace to me. And she gave me vocal lessons during her planning period and prepared me for a college scholarship. So she actually went with me to audition. I received the scholarship. And because of her now, I did not become a statistic. I graduated from college. I became the first person in my family to graduate from college. And now my son, the son I had at 17, he's a junior at Coastal Carolina. She taught me that you can create beauty out of difficult situations. You pour some and then test it. See, ding it and see if it sounds the same. So you're becoming scientists, you're doing a little experiment to see where the sound's coming from. I would like to promote arts integration, project-based learning, and STEAM education. I believe that those are very important. They're critical for our 21st century learners. I believe that we have to be able to make those connections, and without making those connections, our students are not going to be able to be effective and productive citizens in our diverse world. My motivation is showing up each and every day for these children, knowing that they need someone that is going to encourage them, just showing them that beauty can come out of difficult situations, that they can soar above. I use a bird theme in my classroom, and I tell my students constantly, you can soar above anything. And that's my motivation, to help them find a pathway to be able to soar above anything.
So Mary, you have a little different situation because you teach all of the students in your school. So talk to us a little bit about that and how you reach and create relationships with those students.
I think that my students find it unbelievable that I remember their names because, there are over 700 of them.
Yeah.
But for me, making that connection, building the relationships with them, it goes all the way back to my childhood. I grew up the way that the majority of my students are growing up, and to know what they're living and what they're feeling and being able to make that connection. To know that a child struggles with more than just coming to school to get an education. And they may come to school and they may be the brightest and smartest child, and you have to reach out and pull that out of them. The growth mindset, I'm a firm believer in growth mindset as well as arts integration, but I believe the two can be combined because that's where the students can make a connection to things that are relative to them. I know what it's like to not have a home to go to, or to not know where my next meal is going to come from. And to be able to make that connection with my students and to let them know I'm here and I believe in you. As a matter of fact, I had a fourth grader ask me earlier today, because I have this big poster in my classroom that says, Miss Woodward believes in you. And like, you really do, don't you, Miss Woodward? And that's why I do. That's why I get up every morning and I do what I do, so that they'll know that I do believe in them, and teaching them that you can soar above anything and that beauty comes from difficult circumstances.
That's beautiful. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Next, we'll go to Gray Court Owings Elementary Middle School and drop in on the classroom of Marsha Womble.
I can't pinpoint an exact moment when I knew that being a teacher was exactly what I wanted to do. I played school as a young child, like a lot of children do. I had a lot of influential teachers during elementary school, middle school, and high school that inspired me to become a teacher because they cared about me not just as a student, but as a person. Whenever I graduated from high school, I knew I was going to go into education. I didn't know which area I was going to do, so took an art for the elementary teacher class and I was hooked, and I knew that art education was the direction that I wanted to go. Water lilies, Claude Monet, I would strongly encourage teachers to share their classroom stories. Be an advocate for your students and for our profession. We need to be the ones sharing the stories, using social media, telling everybody who will listen all the great things that are happening in our schools with our students. We need to be sharing so that we can encourage other people to join us in this journey in the classroom. What motivates me to come to school every day is my students. Whenever I worked for a while with students on drawing animals, I never will forget one of my little third graders who just exclaimed, "I never knew I could draw a giraffe." And that made me feel so good to know that he had found success. Or when we do something in the classroom and the students tell me that they've gone home and recreated that artwork at home, that they are continuing what we've done in the classroom outside of the art room. So it's little things like that. Those are my why I get up in the morning and why I keep coming in here every day and loving the job that I do.
So Marcia, talk to us a little bit about your classroom and how you teach art and reach out to your students through that medium.
Well, whenever I began teaching 21 years ago, during my first year, I had the opportunity to visit another school that was putting on what they called Artists on the Green, where they were bringing in artists, musicians, different art forms, people would come in and represent those. And it was kind of what I called an in-house field trip for the kids. Mm-hmm. So I thought this would be great if we could bring it to our school. So we started planning that event. And my thing is, I want to give my students experiences that I know they're not going to get anywhere else. And we don't have a lot of arts opportunities in the community for them to participate in. And I know some of their parents aren't going to be able to let them participate in those things. So I see it as my responsibility to bring those experiences to them. So I am always looking for new artwork that I can do with my students. I do a lot of grant writing to get new media for them to be able to use in the classroom, because I want them to remember my class. You know, one day look back on it and remember, oh, we did that in Miss Womble's room and we had so much fun doing that, because I look back on my school experience and I don't remember my art class. And I don't want that for my kids. And I want them to know that I care about them and I want to bring these experiences to them.
And art is such a way for a child to be able to express sometimes what they can't say.
Yes.
So that's so important. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So now we're going to travel over to Broome High School and visit in Pam Flynn's classroom.
I believe there's many reasons why I became a teacher. First of all, my first inspiration would have to be my mother. My mother did not graduate from high school, but she wanted much better for her children, and so she inspired us to go out. She gave us faith in ourselves that we could go out and accomplish this as we went to college. I am the first college graduate from my family, so I will say I owe all of that to her. But also, one of the things is I know how people impacted me to become a teacher, and I want to instill that in lots and lots of my students. I want them to see education and what it can do in their world and how it can open doors for them. And they can have goals and they can have dreams and they can have possibilities. And with an education, they can reach them. And maybe if they're lucky enough, they'll be a teacher one day.
Why? It's unacceptable.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I have something to say. I support America. And I support America's military.
Oh, yes.
And I love this country. Yes. But I cannot support this war in Vietnam.
I teach on a 90-minute block. No way can children sit for 90 minutes. So one of the best practices I do is I try to incorporate into my classroom things that have the children up and moving. It may be a pair share, where they just get up and stand and converse about a topic we're talking about. We're doing a role play. We create role plays where they actually write the script and they actually act it out. They like to do one-act plays. So I like to have students up and moving because we know they need to move. I love what I do. It is the joy of my life. It is the heartbeat of me. Just being in that classroom and teaching, I know it's where I belong. I know I can give everything to them and I get so much more in return. I love my students and I love teaching.
So Pam, in your classroom, you are teaching social studies.
Yes.
And in today's world, understanding the relevance of social studies from the past to the present is really important. What are some ways that you make learning meaningful in your classroom?
I try several different ways to engage my children. I try to challenge them, but also at the same time, we do a lot of role play. I like my students up and moving, doing hands-on, and not just role play, but I like for them to I give them a topic and I ask them to research it. Okay, now let's do a skit, or you can do a rap, you can do a song, just anything to really get them involved in it and make it their own. And when they're doing that, they're also making connections with things that have happened in the past and things that are happening now. It is amazing when they do that. And so, sort of like Mary, I understand their background because it's my background. And I think one of the most important things I do in my classroom is I want my students to know I care about them. I care about them as individuals, not students first. I want them to know I care about them as an individual and what they bring. Because I believe we all need goals and dreams and hopes. And so that's what I try to instill in them. Have that hope, have that dream. You may not always achieve it, but it's a great learning experience. And I want you to believe in yourself. When you leave my classroom, my goal is for you to really believe in yourself and that you can obtain anything. It's out there. The future is yours. And that's what I try to instill in them.
Well, I can certainly tell you the students in your classrooms are very fortunate to have you as their teacher. Each of you are teaching different content areas, but it's very clear that really the content area is secondary to you're teaching your learners, you're teaching these kids and making connections with them. And as a mom and an educator myself, I just want to thank you for having that sort of perspective. I'm getting clear-eyed. So moving on, we're going to take a look at our 2017 Teacher of the Year, Jennifer Wise. She talked with us recently about how her year has been going, and she also offered some advice for this year's nominees. Let's take a look.
My best advice to each of our finalists this year, as they are incredible women, each with their own stories and passions, is to really be themselves and to let that kind of guide their year, to find their passion. I mentioned having a platform earlier this year. I was told to imagine that I have 3 buckets in front of me and what would I fill them with if I could. And so that was how I kind of narrowed it. And because that first day it is like, I want to do this and I want to do that. And we've got 1 year and so many incredible things can happen in 1 year. But to find like what are those things that you just can't get enough of and you want to make sure that you're an active part of in education and do that. Like let your drive, your goals, your passion, your heart for education really be what this year is about, and celebrating the way you see that at play in South Carolina. I'm thankful. So I'll say one thing I wasn't necessarily expecting about it, but I was told early on by one of the former Teachers of the Year. She said, this is going to be the greatest professional development that you've ever experienced. And it's so true. Just this year, all that I've learned, and if I'm in a classroom and I see a teacher doing something and I'm like, I have to do that too. And that excitement of getting to go back and share that. That being said, I know I have to wait a little bit of time before I'm back in the classroom. So that's it's been so great to be filled in that way and to be able to share the good. But it's been hard at times too because I'm not with my kids every day. So to kind of find that balance, I spoke with my school so that I get to continue to go in the mornings and do math team. We're coaching track. We just had our district championships earlier this week. So it's been really cool to be able to make sure that I still got to have that time with my students too. So I guess going back to an earlier question as well, what's some advice that I would have for those finalists is making sure that they still have that interaction with their school as well, because we do what we do because we have a love of students and for our students. And so it's so important that we keep that connection through this year as well.
So you guys have had a chance now to listen to some of Jennifer's advice. She's beginning to wrap up her year as Teacher of the Year. What are some thoughts that you have about some of the things that she shared with you?
I really liked her advice about staying connected with your kids, because that's why we do what we do every day. That's why we get up every morning and we go into work. It's for those kids. And I just think about, the chance that you could be out of that classroom for a year and how much I would miss the interaction with my students.
And I liked what she said about being very passionate about what you're teaching and about what you're doing and about who you are, because if you are passionate about it, the students will catch on to that. Like, they will become ignited with that as well. And, you know, if you bring who you are into the classroom and bring it all over to the state, you know, that's something that I think we're all trying to do, is get the students to really, you know, take education seriously and take their own success seriously. And if we bring that passion to them, then they're going to be successful. It's inevitable. If you're passionate about something, you're going to meet your goals.
I like what she said about professional development. I mean, because already the opportunities we've had this year are fantastic. And, you know, a teacher's motto is, we'll beg, borrow, and steal all the great ideas we can. And so I know I've been doing that along the way, and things I can bring back into my classroom I've already started integrating them into my classroom, which has really been great.
It has been a growing and learning experience here, and I do believe that we have the opportunity to energize educators across the state. And I think for so many of us, that's important too. We love what we do, and we're very passionate about this calling that we feel is so integral to every other calling out there. And I liken it to folks in the medical community, because you have those people who decide when it comes time to choose their professions whether or not they're going to do the easy ones, or they're going to do the ones that require 24/7 and require, you know, so you've got your neonatologist, and you've got your oncologist, and you've got your teachers. Because we don't work 8 to 4, and if that's the job you want, you've gotten into the wrong profession. But it is not one that will take everything you've got. Because if you believe in your students and you truly love what you do, then, and I think that there comes that point where you need someone who says, you got this, and we're here together as part of a continual professional development to keep this alive and going. And I think that part of it excites me too, about all of this. So.
When Jennifer said to always be true to who you are, that is probably the advice that everyone has given me going into interviews, everything. If you show your passion, others will see that and others will relate to that. And to be able to share our passions with others, it makes us the strongest advocates for public education out there.
That's so true.
Very true.
If you are interested in seeing more of the interview with Jennifer Wise, you can check that out on our website at scetv.org/Carolina Classrooms. So I have just a few questions that I wanted to ask you all. You've talked a lot about the professional development that you all have shared with each other and the passion that you share with your students in your classrooms. If you're selected as Teacher of the Year, you will be a teacher leader for the state. So what are some ideas that you have for how you can help lead other teachers to better be able to share their passion with their students and make connections with their students?
For me, we always need to remember our why we've gone into this and why we continue to do it. And I just think about little classroom stories that I have of teaching students how to draw animals, and when Nichols exclaimed, "I never knew I could draw a giraffe," and you know, and those feelings that you get, because every day is not easy. And I think it's so important for us to focus in on those special moments that we have. And I share it on social media, so I can go back and it's in my history, and I can have that reminder there. And you know, those days when that pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that now. And it makes me feel so good about what I'm doing and that I want to continue. And we want to get other people to join us in this journey that we are on. And we need to really be focused on the positives in our classrooms.
I think falling back in love with the content that you teach, because sometimes it becomes rote, and if you fall into that pattern, you can do the same thing over and over and over again. And I would like to help people sort of jumpstart what they're doing and bring in more kinesthetic activity and figure out ways to use the content that they are teaching to our students, but really infuse it with some movement and some activity, because with movement and activity, you're not just gonna, if you're sitting around, of course you're not gonna be enthusiastic if you're just sitting around in a desk. The kids aren't gonna be, you're not gonna be, but if everybody's up and moving around, then that's gonna bring so much more to the classroom. So that's what I would personally like to bring in, is more opportunities for moving around in the classroom, and those professional developments that will teach teachers how to infuse their content and their curriculum with those kind of actions.
Mm-hmm. And for me, I believe empathy is a superpower. And I believe that that is effective not only in our classrooms as we teach our students, but it's also in the culture that we have in our buildings. And so many times that has such a profound effect on what happens in the classrooms themselves. And I think that we tend to be isolated sometimes. And so helping teachers see that need to be connected and to listen and to make those and keep those connections. And then also to help administrators see that importance of building that connectedness and maybe breaking some of the molds of your typical professional development or staff meetings, and going from classroom to classroom to see what other folks are doing in your building. We don't ever get the chance to do that. So learning to listen and know each other better in our own classrooms, in our schools, within our cities, and then within our larger district, I think is huge. And building that empathy, whether it's on the small scale with knowing all our students' names, or building that empathy with knowing who the first-year teachers or the teachers who are struggling are, and making those connections is huge. So,
I can remember Molly Spearman saying that we need to lift up our profession, that we have one of the most influential careers in the world. And so that's what I would really love to do, is tell teachers, be positive. Think about all the positive things that happen every day and how you impact a child's life. There's not a profession out there that does what we do. And we are, every day in front of us in our classrooms is the future. And we are playing a little bit of part of that future and how we impact them and let them know and build them up so they can change the world.
For me, my message would be capture the hearts of the children. I can remember at the beginning of the year, each teacher had to put something in the other teacher's bag saying what they loved about your teaching style. And I can distinctly remember that the art teacher at my school wrote, I love the way that you capture the hearts of each and every one of our students. And she's like, I want you to teach me how to do that. I know that's not something that you can teach, but I believe that it's something that you can promote and encourage others to do and instill in their classroom. And I know ultimately, if you can capture that child's heart, you'll have no trouble instilling and teaching them anything. But also you can change their mindset that way. And we know if you change a child's mindset, you ultimately change their future
That's so
for the
true.
better.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that we are facing a shortage of teachers in the very near future. We already have a shortage, but in the very near future, it's about to get much larger. And being a teacher is really hard, as you all know and have said. What would you say to those teachers who are in their first 5 years of teaching, who are perhaps in the throes of, did I make the right decision? Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? We know that people leave the profession in those first 5 years frequently. We also know that many of them don't come back. So what ideas would you have for reaching that group of teachers? And what would you say to them? What advice would you say to them?
Stay connected. Stay connected not only to your own family and to some spiritual aspect that brings you hope and that is strong for you, but stay connected in your own building. Know who the teachers are that are in your your subject area, know your administrators, definitely get to know the secretaries and the custodians. Stay connected to them. They are the people who run the schools, regardless of what everybody else believes. And then you will have a mentor. One of the things that South Carolina does that is just so fantastic is that induction year, they have a mentor for every first-year teacher. And many of our districts have that for more than that first year. But staying connected to that person, because it is overwhelming and they do get isolated. And so I think making sure that you stay connected is one bit of advice that I would give to them.
I would say to reach out. Like she said, reach out. Don't let your pride get in your way of your success. If you are struggling with something, reach out and tell someone that you need their help. And also de-stress. Like, figure out a way away from school that you can put it all aside for a few minutes and take some time for yourself, spend some time with your family, but definitely focus on making sure that you just leave it all aside for just a few minutes. It'll always be there. You can come back to it. But at our school, we have wonderful opportunities for connection. We have a great community, and our students have started participating with faculty and with staff members in something that one of our awesome science teachers created, which was Power Hour. And we work out. We work out for an hour. Teachers, students, staff members come in and work out and support each other, and we leave academics outside, but we build those relationships. And sometimes we talk shop, and sometimes we, if a student comes in, they might talk about something that we've discussed in class, and that's awesome. But you have to have time for yourself to de-stress, but you need to reach out when you need help, and don't be afraid to ask for that.
Stay away from negative people. Yes. Definitely. And go back and receive more education. One of my favorite things to do, if I'm having a really bad day, you can look up all types of motivational, inspirational teachers. Rita Pearson is one on YouTube, or listen to TED Talks, because they will re-energize you and make you realize that that's the reason why you came into the profession, was for the children. And it's like a marriage, the first 5 years is a little rough, and so get over that hump. It's going to be okay.
I think the relationships in your school building are extremely important. And I know when I began, I didn't have a mentor, and being the only art teacher in the building, I felt like I was on my own. But I found some very supportive veteran teachers in that building who were able to just lift me up whenever I needed encouragement. They were willing to listen if I just needed to vent. But those teachers kind of helped shape me into the teacher I am today. And I have a very close relationship with a number of the teachers that I work with now. Some of them, we eat lunch in my room together. We have that time together, and I call them my work sisters. And we can talk about anything. So I think it's important to have that relationship with other teachers. But like I said, staying away from the negative and building one another up, focusing on the positive.
I do think you have to find time for yourself outside the classroom, just get away from it. But I also think we need to tell them that it's okay to say no. They don't have to do everything, and they do not have to prove themselves. Just focus on the reason you came into that classroom, and it was for the students. And it's okay to say no sometimes.
And that's a really hard thing for all of us to
It
learn.
is. It really is.
Especially for a new teacher who's trying to find their way.
So. They're trying to find their niche and make sure, they have that contract next year and everything.
I mean, you want to be impressive. Like, you always want to impress people. And so you never want to look like, I can't do something. But that's a really important point.
It is. So before we wrap up, if you had a message or a word that you would want to leave with your students, what would you say to your students about where you are now or what you have learned from them?
Just one word?
Right, I was going to say that.
What would you tell them?
I would say, I am the teacher I am today because of you. what you bring out in me. I don't care if you're rich or poor. I don't care if you're the valedictorian or the IEP or the 504, but it's what you bring out in me that makes me the teacher I am. And thank you for doing that.
I agree. I would say you shaped me.
Right.
I am the teacher I am because of them and the influence that they had on my life.
Because their interactions and you're never the same. Every year that a group comes into your classroom and individual students, even the ones that you think maybe they'll be absent today, they shape who you become as well. You learn patience, but you also learn a great deal from them when you get to know them. And you eat a lot of humble pie and crow sometimes, and that makes you a better person. And I think for them to know that not only do they matter, but they have made me better at what I do, and for that I cannot thank them enough.
I would say thank you for loving me unconditionally. And when I step out of my car in the morning and before I can even get into the school, at least 10 or 20 children are hanging out of their car windows, Miss Woodward, hey, Miss, and coming by my classroom to check on me. That makes every day worth it for me, even the rough days. And I would just say thank you for loving me unconditionally. I never want to stop showing up because I know that that's the kind of embrace I'm going to receive.
And I love the excitement that they bring into the classroom when they try something new or they discover something new, and just the conversations that they'll have at their tables among themselves that I overhear. I just that excitement and the passion that they are developing.
What I think is always amazing is what you all have just said, is that we're learners and we're in education because we love to learn.
Lifelong learners.
And we learn from each other and we learn from our students. But I think, for myself as well, the lessons I've learned that probably touched me and changed me the most were from my students. So I do want to tell each of you thank you so much for your dedication to our students and for what you do each and every day in this profession. And I know that you will be an inspiration for teachers and students to come, each and every one of you. And I don't know which one of you will be selected. I guess we'll find out in just a few minutes. But I wish you the best. And I want to just say congratulations again to you. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So as we said at the beginning of tonight's program, in order to include as many finalists as possible, we taped the program before the winner was announced. But we'll leave you now with a little video from the announcement at the 51st South Carolina Teacher of the Year celebration. So I'm Dawn Samples, and that's all for tonight. Good night.
Welcome to the 2017 South Carolina Teacher of the Year celebration.
Celebrating education excellence, celebrating the best of education here in South Carolina. We are delighted to have all of you here for this incredible ceremony honoring some of the best and brightest teachers across our great state of South Carolina.
Throughout this year, I've often been asked, what has been the best part of my year? And while my answer is simple, it couldn't be more truthful. I have loved being able to get a first-hand look at the great things that are taking place in our schools. You see, my husband and I have been born and raised in South Carolina, and we are proud products of public education. In fact, our moms have served as public school teachers with over 75 years of service between them. The result is that we fully recognize that lives are transformed through education. It has been one of my greatest pleasures to represent and celebrate you this year. Thank you.
We have a lot of educators in our family, and this is just truly one of the most important events that we could ever take part in.
Is there a room anywhere else in South Carolina, even in the history of South Carolina, that has been so committed to the future of our state? You've heard that as a theme tonight. I dare say there has not been.
And the winner of the 2018 South Carolina Teacher of the Year is, drum roll. Here you go, there you go. Aaron Fox, Cherokee County School District.
Woohoo! I'm so sorry. I don't even know what to say. I just want to stand here and cry for a few minutes. I just want to thank South Carolina and the State Department of Education, and I want to thank the Gaffney community, and I want to thank the Murphy community and the Tryon community, because they have all been backing me so much with prayers just for my nerves. They just wanted me to be able to stay calm, because I didn't want to hurt in front of anyone tonight. And I just thank you all so much. I want to say thank you to the sponsors. But mostly I want to say thank you to my students, because they were behind me and they hoped so much as I did. And they made all of this so special and wonderful for me tonight. All the ones from 13 years ago up to this very minute right now that I have. I'm wearing one of my students' earrings right now because she said they would match my dress. Thank you, Stevie. I was with such an amazing group of teachers in this district class and such an amazing group of finalists, and they have all become such friends to me, and we have gone through this journey and this adventure together, and I cannot say thank you enough. I know I'm really not making a lot of sense right now, but I just thank you all from the bottom of my heart. You've made this a dream come true. Thank you.
Congratulations to our Teacher of the Year, Aaron Fox.